Every morning, read the Detroit News AM edition at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking, 2 ways to check without charges. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. Now for the play-by-play action, let's go to the ballpark and join Paul Carey and Ernie Harwell.
Hi, everybody. The 2 top teams in the Eastern Division in the American League, the Tigers, the home team, against the visitors from Boston, the Red Sox. We've got a beautiful day here at Tiger Stadium, bright and sunshiny. The cool front has moved in, and the clouds have blown away. Blue skies up above, and a nice breeze are coming in from the outfield toward home plate. 2 for the price of 1 this afternoon, so if you're anywhere around, come on out and join us. We've got room for you at Tiger Stadium. It'll be Bill Lee, the undefeated left-hander, beginning on the mound in game number 1 for the Bostons. He has won 6 and lost none. His pitching rival will be Milt Wilcox, who has a record of 2-1. And in the second game, Rosema pitching for the Tigers with a 2-1 mark against the veteran right-hander Louis Tiant. Louis has won 1 game and lost none. Paul Carey's here. My name's Ernie Harwell. We'll be back in 1 minute with the starting lineups.
Gene Elsey's Music for Moderns is a Detroit and Midwest tradition, an oasis of great jazz that combines the best of the new and some old chestnuts, too. It's a blending of good music and expert commentary that's an integral part of Saturday Nights for Thousands. Why not see and hear what the rave notices are all about? Join Gene Elsey Saturday nights at 6:30. He happens here on WJR, Radio 76.
Your good morning gets better when J.P. McCarthy helps you shoulder the morning mantle from his vantage point in the music hall. Here's a combination of essential information that's fast and frequent. Sparkling music, winners and losers, unpredictable phone fun, and unexpected extras that make getting up almost fun. J.P. McCarthy, mornings 6 to 10, here on WJR Radio 76.
This is the 15th annual Shrine Day at Tiger Stadium. It'll be a colorful pageant between games. Always one of the most attractive ceremonies that we have here at the ballpark, and all of us are looking forward to seeing that between games. There'll be a 40-minute intermission here as the Shriners parade in their colorful array. Right now, we've got Paul Carey standing by, and he's ready to give us his pregame comments.
And speaking of colorful array, I want to take note of the attire of Ernie Harwell for this Shrine Day occasion here. He has his black beret on, not a fez, but he has a red jacket and a blue muffler, and he's ready. It's a coolish day with a wind coming in out of the northeast here, blowing in toward the plate. The last couple of ball games here in this Tiger-Boston series had the wind blowing very strongly out toward right field, and as a result, we had a lot of hits and a lot of long hits. The doubleheader windup of a 4-game series with the Red Sox coming up. The Tigers and Red Sox have split those first 2. Detroit winning on Friday night 7-5. Boston taking yesterday's game 6-5 to pull back into a virtual tie with the first-place Tigers. But the Tigers remain ahead in the percentage column, and that's the all-important column. 18 percentage points ahead of Boston. It has indeed been a hitting series so far. The Red Sox in the 2 games have collected 28 hits. They've scored 11 runs, have hit 5 home runs. The Tigers, on the other hand, have had 22 hits in the 2 games, scored 12 runs, and had 3 home runs. Well, the Red Sox are really hitting. They have hit the ball hard in both games, despite losing on Friday night. But they've gotten some excellent pitching. Don Zimmer, well, he knows he's got a powerful offensive club. Pays credit to the pitching staff for the move upward in the standings by the Red Sox over the past 3 weeks. And they got some excellent pitching from a man that is going to have to be ready to pitch for them often this year, and that's Bill Campbell. He came in yesterday after having been out for 3 weeks' time, not to pitch since April 30th, and he shut out the Tigers over the last 3 innings. After the Tigers had come from behind a couple of times to tie the game, and Campbell wound up with a win, and he appears to be healthy again. Well, a man who is leading the staff of the Boston Red Sox in victories and percentage and everything. Bill Lee is getting the start in the opening game, and to the surprise of a lot of people, Lee has won 6 and lost none. Louis Tiant, whose conditioning this spring was set back a little bit by injuries down in Florida, has not seen all that much activity thus far for Boston. He'll go in the second game, and he too is unbeaten. Louis has won 1 and lost none. The umpires are making their appearance now, walking out toward home plate. We've got a group of officials from the Muslim Shrine down below our booth for a little pregame ceremony. And before I bring you the starting lineups, let's pause here for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Workers of the world arise with J.P. McCarthy in the morning music call. Join him Monday through Friday morning at 6 right here on WJR Radio 76 in Detroit.
Well, the Tigers this afternoon are going to be depending on Milt Wilcox, who pitched so well in a couple of back-to-back starts on the very successful Western trip for the Tigers. Milt has now won 2 and lost 1. And Dave Rosemuth, who's also won 2 and lost 1, will be going against the Red Sox in Game 2. Dave, as perhaps you know, missed his last turn. He was destined to pitch in Milwaukee on that brief swing to Milwaukee in the middle of the week. But he was moved back because he experienced more tenderness in his shoulder and was set for one of the 2 games here this afternoon. Dave has also suffered from a strep throat infection that cost him a turn in the pitching rotation. So this will only be his 6th start and his 6th appearance of the season. We're getting the meeting at home plate now with the umpires and the managers, Ralph Houck and Don Zimmer. And for the Boston Red Sox in Game 1 against Milt Wilcox, leading off playing at shortstop will be Rick Burleson. Batting second, their second baseman, Jerry Remy. Hitting third in left field, it'll be Jim Rice. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Carl Yastrzemski. Hitting fifth, catcher, Carlton Fisk. Batting sixth in center field, Fred Lynn. Hitting seventh, the third baseman, Butch Hobson. Batting eighth, right fielder, Dwight Evans. And batting ninth, the designated batter, Bernie Carbo. For the Tigers, leading off center fielder, Ron LaFleur. Batting second at shortstop will be Mark Wagner. Hitting third for Detroit, the designated batter, Rusty Staub. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Jason Thompson. Hitting fifth and playing in left field for Detroit will be Steve Kemp. Batting sixth and the right fielder for the opening game of the doubleheader, John Walkenfuss. Hitting seventh and doing duty behind the plate for this first game with the left-hander, Lance Parrish. Batting eighth, the third baseman of the Tigers, Aurelio Rodriguez. And batting ninth for Detroit in its second base will be Steve Dillard. The Tiger lineup has LaFleur in center, followed by Wagner at short, Staub the DH, Thompson at first, Kemp in left, Walkenfuss in right, Parrish catching, Rodriguez at third, and Dillard at second. The lineup that normally is posted by Ralph Houck against a left-handed starter. The Red Sox have stuck with their set lineup through the series thus far, with the exception of the designated batter, Bernie Carbo, starting his second game in the series. Bob Bailey started the opening game of the series as the DH for Boston. Umpires will line up this way for Game 1. It'll be Nick Bremigan behind the plate, Russ Getz at first, Joe Brinkman at second, and Dale Ford at third. The Tigers now individually introduced as they take their defensive positions on the field. And we have a group from the Muslim temple out between the plate and the mound as they form a line behind little Tina Smith, who is in her wheelchair. And as has been the tradition here on Shrine Day at Tiger Stadium, we're going to hear the delightful voice of little Tina sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was an appreciative response by the large crowd here at Tiger Stadium to the singing of the national anthem by little Miss Tina Smith. And she is now being wheeled back off the diamond in her wheelchair, escorted by members of the Muslim temple. Milt Wilcox on the mound to take his final warm-up tosses, and as he does, and before this game gets underway, we'll pause for these messages.
The bases are loaded, and you're at bat in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. On October 1st, 1961, Roger Maris hit his 61st home run to break Babe Ruth's record. See if you can name the pitcher who threw that historic pitch. Why not think about it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer? Give yourself a double if you said Tracy Stollard of the Boston Red Sox. Beer and baseball really go together. Always have, always will. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt's. Called for Labatt's. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt's. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from.
Point of View presents opinions and attitudes by members of your community. Hear it 3 times daily here on WJR Radio 76.
The 7th appearance of the year for Milt Wilcox, who enters the game with a 2-1 record and an ERA of 3.57. It'll be Milt's 5th start. He lost his first appearance of the year in relief at Toronto, but since then has turned in complete game victories at California and Oakland. In Oakland, it was a 5-hit shutout. The last time he worked was last Tuesday night against Seattle. That was that 16-inning marathon. Milt pitched well, only allowed 3 hits going the first 6 and the third innings before giving way to John Hiller at that point. We're ready to go. Rick Burleson steps in. The Shrine Day doubleheader underway, and here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Burleson at bat now. Wilcox about set to work. The windup and the pitch. The game underway. Strike call. Wilcox curved him and got that outside corner. Wind is blowing in from the outfield toward the plate. There's a line shot foul down the third base side, bouncing up into the seats. And a gentleman from Royal Oak caught that one on one hop. He was waiting on that fastball. He got it in high and drilled it, but he pulled it too much. Now Burleson takes a wide fastball off the mid of Parrish. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Boston leadoff man. Jerry Remy waiting at the on-deck circle. And the number 3 hitter is Jim Rice in this powerful Boston lineup. Mr. Birmingham putting a new ball in play. Wilcox didn't like the first one that Nick threw out there, so he makes an exchange. Series is even, 1 victory for each team. Here's a ball. He jammed him with a tight fastball. 2-2 the count on Burleson. Right-hand batter, about midway in the batter's box. He swings and hits a high foul. It'll be out of play down the right field side. Thompson chasing, Walkenfuss coming over, but it's into the seats. Folks are still coming in here. We're going to have a good turnout. Tigers do not play tomorrow. They'll head to Baltimore on Tuesday and spend just about a week away from home in Baltimore and in Boston. Wilcox ready, the 2-2 serve. He takes a strike, struck him out. Called third strike on a big hook, and it fooled him. He was caught looking. Burleson is out on strikes, one away. Here's Remy. Jerry batting .293 in 36 games. Understand that Denny Doyle, the man whom Remy replaced, has not latched on to any baseball club. He's back in Louisville, waiting to be picked up by somebody. Here's the pitch. It is a strike call. Wilcox started Remy off with a fastball. Now Jerry takes a ball outside, 1-1. Blue skies, lots of sunshine here this afternoon in Detroit. Here's a strike. Wilcox boring that fastball in there. Remy steps out. Here's a word or two to say to Brimmigan. Now settles himself again into the batter's box. And Wilcox checking his sign with Parrish. And the pitch. Swung on. Line drive. Left field. Kemp is there. Has it. Playing shallow on the left-hand batter and positioning himself perfectly. Kemp picked that one off. Now Rice will be up. Leading the league in almost everything. 13 home runs and 40 RBIs. A leader by large margins in those two departments. And he's up among the leaders in the batting percentage, .363. He's hit safely in 15 of the last 17. There's a little looper that'll drop into right center for a hit. Rice gets the first hit of the game, a single to right center. Probably just about the strongest man in baseball, Jim Rice. And though he hit that ball down on the handle of the bat, it was such a strong man hitting it that the ball reached out over the infield and dropped in the outfield. Here's Yastrzemski stepping up. Man on first and 2 away. Red Sox have won 5 of their last 7 games. Yaz hitting .300 even. There's a strike. Hard curve in above the knees on the veteran. He'll be followed by Carlton Fisk. Outfield deep to right on Yastrzemski. Wilcox pitches, and Yaz hits a high pop foul back of the plate. Here comes Parrish, but this one it'll be into the upper deck. Well, I hate to tell you, but the guy who got that one was Howard Stitzel, the engineer for the Boston Red Sox. It went through the hatch there over in the booth, and he was able to retrieve it. Here's Yastrzemski waiting on a strike 2 delivery. Swing and another foul. This one will be on the screen.
That may be the first honest baseball Howard's ever had.
I think it is. Baltimore, Cleveland run it away. They're scoreless in their game over in Cleveland at the end of 2. Thompson holding on the bag with Rice. No score here. 2 out, 1 on for Boston in the first. And he sits him down with an inside fastball. Yes, hit the dirt. Rodriguez almost over the shortstop. That's how wide to the left he is from third base. Now Wilcox checks out his sign with the rookie catcher Parrish. Delivers, and it's a cut and a miss. Struck him out. A change-up curve pulled him, and the side retired. No runs. runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left, and at the end of a half inning, Boston, nothing, Detroit coming to bat.
Here's an important message from Marathon for homeowners who heat with fuel oil. This announcement can mean important dollars in your pocket if you act before June 1st. During Marathon's introductory offer, you can save a full $20 on the purchase of a new Honeywell Fuel Oil Saver thermostat when you sign up for their burner service plan. You can buy the regular $79.95 Honeywell thermostat for just $59.95 and then be in a position to possibly save up to 20% on heating costs thereafter. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Residents of Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties can learn more about this special offer and Marathon's 12-month budget plan by calling Marathon toll-free at 1-800-552-8950. Take advantage of this chance to save $20 right now and possibly save even bigger dollars on heating costs later on. The introductory offer expires June 1st, so call Marathon now at 1-800-552-8950.
Well, the Tigers would like to salute Mr. and Mrs. Stanley Zapensky of Detroit, celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary on this date. Now, they are the uncle and aunt of our good friend Dan Ewald from Grand Rapids. Also, we'd like to send get well greetings to Mr. Brian Anderson in the St. Mary's Hospital in Grand Rapids. Hope he's up and at 'em real soon. A lot of folks here today, and among them a group of Navy recruits brought down by Art Kirkow from Petoskey. Also, the Holden and Phillips Halls from Michigan State turning out in large numbers to try to root the Tigers in this sunshiny afternoon. Bill Lee, the undefeated left-hander, 6-0, ready to go to work, coming back after having arm trouble over the last couple of years. Remember, he hurt his shoulder in that fracas at Yankee Stadium. The spaceman, they called him. Jim Woods was telling us that he was talking to Bill Lee in the clubhouse a couple of days ago, and there was a statistic out that if he won a couple of more games, he would eclipse Babe Ruth as the winningest left-hander in the Boston Red Sox history. And Mr. Lee's response to that was, yep, and if they didn't have that doggone DH in the American League, I'd be up there in home runs with the Babe, too. So all he needs is a little confidence.
Yeah, he likes that.
Here's Ron LaFleur to lead off for the Tigers. Piece of paper blowing out toward third base. Hobson comes over, picks it up, puts it in his pocket. LaFleur batting .283. Lee, a very crafty worker, getting ready to go into action now. Outfield is straight up on Ron LaFleur. And here's the first pitch to Ron. He swings and rolls a foul over toward third base. Hobson stops it over there and flips it back to Lee. Now, Bill Lee, after a trip of the Rosenbag, is ready to pitch to LaFleur. Fisk is the catcher for Boston. And Lee rocks into action out on the mound. He pitches. There's a bounding ball to third. It'll be fouled again. Incidentally, Mark Federich, who's been placed on the Tigers disabled list, that happened back in the 1st of May, remains here because of tendinitis, has left Detroit for Lakeland, Florida for an indefinite period. He'll be working out with the farm club down there, the Lakeland Farm Club, and trying to get ready to come back. Here's the pitch. It is a ball in close. Well, the Tiger officials are hopeful that that hot Florida sun will help Mark, and he'll continue the exercises that he's been doing, and he'll continue to test his pitching arm. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing, a fly ball lifted down the line and right. Evans is coming over. It may go foul. It does. He's there, makes the catch. And there's one away. Mark Wagner will be the next Tiger to come up. He's hitting .277 in 18 games. That's a couple of triples, no home runs, and 6 runs batted in. Bill Lee doing the pitching for the Bostons here on Shrine Day. First game of a Sunday doubleheader. Now the windup by Bill, and Wagner takes a slow curve and hangs outside. Tigers are now 1-1 against Boston. They've won 9 and lost 6 at home so far this year. Here's a curve. It stays low. 2-0 the count on Wagner. Tigers have played one doubleheader, and they divided it. That was a doubleheader with the Texas Rangers. Swing and a high foul over this way. It'll reach the seats easily. Two and one the count on Wagner. Marks hit safely in the last 5 games. He'll be followed to the plate by Rusty Staub. No score first inning. Tiger Stadium, first of 2 games. Swing, there's a base hit. Center field. Oh, now he's hit safely in 6 straight games. The first Tiger runner is Wagner, and here's Rusty Staub. Well, Rusty's connected in 7 in a row. Then gets quite a cheer as he steps up. He's exchanging a few words with Carlton Fisk, the catcher. Staub hitting .288. 30 runs batted in and 4 home runs. Left-hander against the left-hander. Chokes that bat, leans over the plate a little bit. Wagner not getting much of a lead at first, where Yaz is holding on the bag with him. Now Lee kicks and deals, and it is a ball in too close to Rusty.
Tigers are aware of that excellent pickoff move by Bill Lee.
And Wagner, consequently, not getting off very far. Now the set by Lee, the look to first. The pitch to Staub is a curve. It is low. Throw to first. Back in time is Wagner. Jason Thompson waiting at the on-deck circle. Bill Lee's appeared in more games than any left-hander in the history of the Boston Red Sox. Generally speaking, at Fenway, they've not gone too much for the left-hand pitches because of that short left field fence. Here's a ball in too close. He checked his swing. Three and 0, the count on Staub. No score. We're in the first inning. The Tigers have a man on and the man out. Here's the pitch, and he takes a curve over for a strike. Wagner still with a short lead at first base. It's a 3-1 count on Staub. There's a throw to first, and Mark is back. Poor throw in the dirt, but Yastrzemski scooped it up on a short hop. Another throw by Bill Lee to first base. One of the great left-handers in baseball history, did some of his pitching at Boston, Lefty Grove. Won over 300 games. Here's a pitch. It is a ball low. There goes Wagner. They throw to second, and he is safe anyway. It was unnecessary. They made a play on him, but it's a base on balls anyway. Staub was not moving from the plate, and I guess Fisk figured, well, maybe it wasn't the 4th ball. Anyway, he threw down there, and the Tigers have 2 men on a single and a walk, and setting the table for Jason Thompson.
That looked like a stop-action picture for a while.
Jason's average is .312. He has 10 home runs and 23 RBIs. He had a hitting streak stopped in this series, but he still is connected safely in 16 of the last 17. So it's a couple of left-handers against each other. Bill Lee versus Jason Thompson. Throw to second. And safe is Wagner. That was close. A good throw by Lee. Burleson ducked behind the runner Wagner and almost had him. Boston is very good about keeping those runners close. 2 men on, 1 man out. No score, first inning, first of 2 games. Thompson waiting. Lee sets and delivers. And Jason looks at the ball in too close. The fastball. Steve Kemp waiting on deck. Lee ready, checks his rudders. It's a 1-0 pitch and time called. He went through with it, but time had been called by Birmingham at the plate. The pitch is nullified. Yankees and Toronto underway. No score at the end of 1. Baltimore, Cleveland, no score at the end of 3. And at Cincinnati, the Padres and the Reds, no score at the end of 1. We'll have a lot of scores to bring you all through the course of this doubleheader. Now the 1-0 delivery coming up to Jason Thompson. And here it is. He swings and it's a bounding ball to right for a base hit. Wagner coming around third, and he holds on. Here comes a throw into Fisk. It bounds away from him. Now Wagner starts to break for the plate and goes back. He was held up by Freddie Hatfield, which was the right play. A good throw would have had him at the plate. And the fact that the ball bounded off the mid of Fisk could not alter that decision that Hatfield made. But when it did bounce off the mid of Fisk, Wagner started to the plate and then decided he'd better not make it. I don't think he could have made it.
No.
Thompson was retrieving the ball back at third after it bounced away from Fisk. Anyway, the Tigers have the bases loaded.
Actually, it was not a bad throw. It just took a bad hop to Fisk and bounced off his shoulder.
Well, the Tigers, with a couple of singles on a walk in between, have a scoring threat now with Kemp stepping in. Fellow who leads the league in walks at 33. Steve Kemp, left-hander against the left-hander. Batting .313. 1 out, bases loaded. No score, first inning. Swinging a bounding ball hit to Yastrzemski. He goes to first base and beats Kemp by a step or 2. Wagner scores. Staub takes third. Thompson goes to second, and it's 1-0 Detroit. Slight hesitation by Yastrzemski, but as it ended up, he probably had only that one play that he made anyway. However, Kemp's speed made it close at first base. And now John Wockenfuss will be the batter with runners at second and third. 2 out, 1-0 Tigers. It'll be an RBI on the bounce out by Kemp. Stanley is throwing in the bullpen, the big right-hander for Boston. Lee pitches, and Wockenfuss takes a strike call. John batting .379. This is his 15th game. Tigers have jumped in front of their rivals from Boston 1-0 in the first. He takes a wide one, 1-1 on John. Thompson, the man at second. Staub, the man at third. The infield back now with 2 down. Lee has his sign and winds and pitches. It is a curve over for a strike. Took a little off that one and hit the outside corner. Wockenfuss behind the pitcher now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count on John. Here it comes. He swings it. It's a high hopper to Hobson at third. He guns it over to Yastrzemski. The side retired. But the Tigers take the lead on 1 run, 2 hits, a walk, no errors, 2 runners are left. That at the end of 1, it's Detroit 1, Boston 0. It's time to batter up during your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth Dealers' third annual honorary Tiger Bat Boy contest. This is Ernie Harwell. This year, 22 Detroit area youngsters will be selected from each Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealership to become honorary Tiger Bat Boys. It's easy to enter. If your boy or girl is between the ages of 8 and 14, bring him or her into your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer before May 31st to register. Each youngster must be accompanied by a licensed driver 18 or older. On June the 5th, there'll be a drawing to determine the winning Bat Boys. Then 22 games will be set aside to honor the winners. Each winner will receive a simulated Tiger uniform and tickets to the game by the family. So batter up. Bring your youngster into your participating Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer and sign him or her up to be an honorary Tiger Bat Boy. There's no obligation, and we'll even give your child a free Tiger iron-on patch just for registering. Stop in today.
A doctor who specializes in sports medicine claims that weightlifters are almost always hypochondriacs. This is Frank Beckman, WJR Sports.
Let's pause for station identification. This is a Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Jimmy Lance leads your bunch to lunch. Monday through Friday mornings from 10 to noon here at America's great radio station, WJR Detroit.
Well, we got a great Tiger fan we'd like to salute, celebrating his birthday, Mr. Arthur Link Manistee, longtime Tiger fan. 1-0, Tigers ahead. Carlton Fisk will lead it off. He's not up there yet, but he's about to get in to face Milt Wilcox. Tigers scoring on a bases-loaded ground out off the bat of Steve Kemp. Wilcox ready to go to work. Fisk is hitting .260. Right-hand batter bunts the ball, and then he falls down. Wilcox picks up the ball, throws to first in time. Pretty good bunt, but Fisk really didn't have a chance because after he laid the ball down, he fell. Here's Freddie Lynn stepping up, the center fielder. Lynn hitting .320 in 34 games with 6 home runs and 21 RBIs. Outfield deep and around the right on Lynn. He packs a lot of power. Swings and misses on a Wilcox hook. Clear and cool at Tiger Stadium. Beautiful afternoon. Got a lot of baseball. Come out and join us. We've still got a lot left. Here's a ball high to Lynn, 1-1. Now the motion and the pitch. He takes a wide one. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count on Lynn. Johnny Pesky coaching down at first base. Eddie Yost down at third for the Bostons. Now Wilcox ready, delivers a ball outside, very wide. 3-1 the count on Lynn. At the Baltimore-Cleveland game in the 4th inning, they're scoreless over across the lake. Lynn takes strike. That was a hard curve, letter high to Fred. He swings. It's a high pop-up back of short. Wagner fighting the sunshine and the wind. He makes the catch. That one stayed up about 5 minutes. Here's Butch Hobson, third baseman. .281 hitter. 7 home runs, 28 RBIs. He missed a couple of games, had cortisone shots back in Boston, and then rejoined the club for this series. Takes a strike. Wilcox got one on the outside corner. Boston's had 1 runner on a 2-out single by Rice in the first. Here's a foul out of play up the bat of Hobson, 2 strikes. Well, we've got a later report now from Cincinnati. San Diego leads the Reds 2-0 at the end of 2. Let's see who the pitchers are in that. I believe that's a doubleheader. Shirley against Sarmiento. There's a fly ball to center field. Straight away. LaFleur there waiting. Has it. And they're down 1-2-3 in the Boston second. At the end of 1.5 innings, Detroit 1, Red Sox nothing.
There are two things I remember about 58. I spent more on oil for my hair than on oil for my car. And I bought my first Chevy.
You can buy a better plug than Champion.
It's also the year I started using Champions. Now in 66, I remember two more things. A silver Corvette and a redhead named Georgette.
No matter where you are, it's Champion.
This year I got myself a Chevy wagon and four more things to remember. Billy Jr., Billy Joe. This year I got myself a Chevy wagon and four more things to remember. Billy Jr., Billy Joe, Billy Jean, and Billy Bob. I've had a lot of different kinds of Chevys over the years, but one kind of spark plug, Champion.
You can buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. Champion. You can buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world. #1 in your car.
Did I forget someone? Did I forget Billy Jack?
1-0 Detroit leading. Second inning. Bill Lee ready to go to work, and Lance Parrish will be leading off for the Tigers. He's had an extra base hit and also an RBI in each of his last 4 games, going 6 for 14 over that span with 6 runs batted in. Parrish is hitting .246, 11 RBIs and 4 home runs. He has 15 hits now, and 10 of those 15 have been for extra bases. I was talking with Jim Russo, the super scout for Baltimore. He says he feels that Lance Parrish is a very fine catcher. Likes the way he handles himself. So here's Parrish facing the left-hander Bill Lee. Lee winds and pitches, and Parrish takes a slow curve outside. Big breeze blowing in from the outfield. It'll hold up a ball that's hit high in the air. He swings as a fly hit the center. Coming in is Lynn. He has it for the out. Not too tough a play for Fred Lynn. Aurelio Rodriguez stepping up now. Aurelio hitting .324, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. After Aurelio, it'll be Steve Dillard, the #9 man in the batting order. 1-0 Tigers lead. They got a run on the bases loaded bounce out from the bat of Kemp in the opening inning. He set up that scoring with a single by Wagner, a walk to Staub, and a single by Thompson in succession, after LaFleur had started the inning by fouling out. Here's a strike call. Aurelio took a fastball from Bill Lee. Big crowd on the quiet side at the moment. Just waiting. Here's the set. The pitch is a ball high, 1-1. Hobson deep at third. The infield is all the way back. All 4 of them. Here's a pitch. Strike outside corner fastball, 1-2. Lee works off the first base side of the slab. Picks his sign up from his veteran battery mate Fisk, and left hand's run to the plate. It's a slow curve over but low. 2-2. 3 straight years at Boston, Bill Lee had 17 victories. 73, 74, 75. Well, then he was hurt and fell off. There's a high pop foul, maybe in play. Fisk going near the seats, but he can't get it. The wind takes it and blows it out for about 2 rows in among the customers. And Bill Lee had that fracas at the Yankee Stadium in '76. He injured his left shoulder, and he was out for about 2 months. He won only 5 games that year. Then he came back last season and won 9. And this year he already has 6 victories. 2-2 the count on Rodriguez. 1 out, nobody on. Detroit leading 1-0 in the second inning. Well, Lee taking his time, looking him over. And the windup and the pitch. Swung on and fouled away. That one came back and got Fisk on the mask. This is the first of a doubleheader on this Sunday afternoon. This is the first of a doubleheader on this Sunday afternoon. Now the 2-2 delivery. He takes the ball, full count on Aurelio. Lee kicks and deals. There's a tap, a hit toward short. Burleson charges, has it, guns it over to Yastrzemski. They got him by a step and a half. 2 up and 2 away, and a former Boston Red Sox player coming to bat now against his old teammates. That's Steve Dillard. Dillard batting .224 in 23 games, no home runs, and 4 runs batted in for Steve. Young man from Mississippi digging in. And he takes the ball low. Steve, a great high school athlete. That's Sotila. There's a pitch in the dirt, 2-0. LaFleur waiting on deck. Tigers got a run in the first inning. They've got a 1-0 lead in the second. Now the windup and the pitch. Dillard cuts and misses. Oh, the other 2 games were pretty much hitter's game. This one is starting out as if the pitchers might dominate, even despite the fact that the Tigers got 1 in the first inning. They've not put anybody on in this inning. Dillard leans in to wait on the next delivery. Here it comes. He swings and fouls it away. That one down off the tarp roll and rolling toward the ground crew. Back at third base. 2-2 the count on Dillard. Lee up on the mound, ready to go to work. 2 out, nobody on the bases. He cuts, and it's a high fly to left field. Rice is coming in. The wind takes it a little bit, and Rice makes the catch in short left. 3 up and 3 down for the Tigers in the second, and at the end of 2, the score, Detroit 1, Boston nothing.
Radio's great tradition of exciting drama and ear-witness narration is alive and well at WJR, as Radio 76 provides a front-row center seat to Mike Worf's award-winning Kaleidoscope, with matinee performances daily at 1:15. Whether it be a conversation with one of the bards of Tin Pan Alley, some memories of a middle-aged movie fan, or an original radio play, Mike Worf presents a grand array of heroes and heroines, past and present, who have contributed in some way to the world in which we live. The Lincoln Plot, Operetta Memories, Ragtime Women, and The Frustrated Newsboy. Those are but a few of the many outstanding programs that contribute to the unique experience that is Kaleidoscope. Even the golden age of network radio lives again with memorable moments from the past. Accept our invitation to be a part of it all. Join the audience for Kaleidoscope, afternoons at 1:15 here on WJR Radio 76.
This is Jim Garrett. If you want to join a 4-H club or start one, call 4-H, listed under your county's cooperative extension service.
Boston bats in the third now, the first of 2 games, and Evans will lead it off for them. Tigers ahead, 1-0. New York and Toronto, no score there in the second inning. Figueroa against Underwood in the first of two. Cleveland batting in the fourth, no score against Baltimore. 0-0. Cleveland batting in the fourth inning. McGregor against Waits in the first of a doubleheader. And the only game in the National League underway, San Diego 2, Cincinnati 0 in the last half of the second. Shirley against Sarmiento. And that's it on the other games right now. Here's Evans. He'll be followed by Carbo. And Dwight takes a strike on the outside corner, the fastball to the right fielder. Evans hitting .275, 5 home runs. Takes a low one, and the count is 1-1. Wilcox doing the pitching for the Tigers. Native of Hawaii. Grew up mostly in Oklahoma. Delivers. It is a ball outside. 2-1. Nobody on, nobody out. 2-1 pitch coming up to Evans. And he looks at the ball in close. 3-1 the count on Dwight Evans. Here's the motion and the pitch. He cuts and misses. That was about the same spot as the other pitch, and this time Evans went for it. That'll make the count full on him. Strike called. He struck him out. Ball dropped by Parrish. He tags Evans. Out on a call, third strike. The third strikeout for Wilcox. And here's the pride of Allen Park now, Bernie Carbo. Left-hand batting outfielder used as a designated batter this afternoon. Carbo batting .227, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Strike on Bernie. Fastball. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Yankees now lead the Blue Jays 2-0 at the end of 2 in their first game in Toronto. Carbo out of the batter's box now gets back in to face Wilcox. Here's the strike 2 serve. He took a ball high. Started to let it go that time, and then he laid off the pitch, so the count is 1-2 on him. One hit off Wilcox so far, 2-out single by Rice in the first inning. Here's a ball high to Carbo, 2-2. Parrish, a graceful catcher behind the bat. He does not move around a lot. Pitchers like that. They like for a catcher to be stationary. Here's a foul ball out of play. Ball comes down off the third deck and hits in front of the coach, Eddie Yost. Later report from Cincinnati, the Padres still ahead of the Reds, 2-0. They've completed 3 in the first game of their doubleheader at Cincy. Wilcox ready, winds and pitches. Carbo fouls one away. This one on the screen and bouncing off to the left of the screen. Young man in the green jacket had that one for a while, and then it got away from him and disappeared down the exit way. Wilcox winds and deals. There's a drive to left field. Going back is Kemp. It's deep at the wall and off the wall. Carbo going for 2. Kemp picks up the ball on the ricochet, and Carbo has a stand-up double. Kemp playing in shallow on the left-hand batter, and Carbo ripped one over his head to the wall for 2 bases. That is the second Boston hit. Top of the batting order now for Boston, Rick Burleson. Burleson and the umpire, Brummagem, having a little conversation, and Burleson wants Brummagem to inspect the ball. He does and says it's all right to keep in play. There's a bounding ball to third. Rodriguez has it. Throw to first in time. And holding it second is Carbaugh as Rodriguez brought him back with a quick look. Burleson's out. That'll leave it up to Remy with a man at second. 2 out. The Tigers lead 1-0. Tigers scored in the opening inning. The bases loaded when Kemp bounced the ball to Yastrzemski at first base for the out. And Wagner, who had been at third base, came home. Oh, here's the left-hander batting Remy facing right-hand pitching Milt Wilcox. Strike. He got a hard curve across. Later report from Cleveland. They've completed 4 over there. The Orioles and the Indians. No score at the end of 4 innings. That's also the first game of a doubleheader. Bounding ball to third. Rodriguez gloves it. Fires to first. Side retire. Took a bad hop, but he followed it to his left and made the play. No runs on the 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. And at the end of 2.5 innings, Detroit won, Boston nothing.
Can you afford to throw money away at the supermarket, in your car, where you bank? City National Bank knows every nickel counts. That's why there's a big difference between City National and those other banks that charge you for writing checks.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
City National Bank saves you money again with combo checking. Keep a minimum of $200 in checking or savings. You write all your checks without charge. All your checks without charge. Combo checking. No other bank in Michigan has it. No statement fees. No charge per check. Don't throw your money away on annoying service charges on checks. Come on in and open a City National Bank charge-free combo checking account now.
Who's got it? Nobody but City National Bank.
Also available at National Bank of Rochester and First Citizens Bank in Troy.
Tigers won and Boston nothing going into the last half the third. Ron LaFleur will lead off for the second time in the ball game. The first time up, he fouled the shortstop Burleson. Good turnout here with a big crowd. It's been strangely silent so far. The Tigers scoring on a single by Wagner, a walk to Staub, a single by Thompson, and a bounce out by Kemp. Elicited about the only real noise that we've heard from this big throng at the ballpark. Well, here's LaFleur facing Bill Lee, the Boston left-hander. University of Southern California product delivers outside for a ball. Ball 1. After LaFleur, it'll be Wagner and then Staub. Here's a curve in close on LaFleur, 2-0. Infield back, the outfield and straight away. The windup and the pitch. He takes a ball wide, fastball, low and away from Bill Lee. Lee kicks and deals. Here's a strike. Mr. Birmingham said so. Later report from Toronto. The Yankees have a 2-1 lead over Toronto. They've completed 3 up there in their first game. The pitch by Lee. Swing and a bounding ball to short. Burleson has it. Here's the throw to Yastrzemski. Got him by 3 steps. 1 up and 1 down. Here's Wagner, who has scored the game's only run. He singled in the first inning. Young man from Ashtabula, Ohio, doing a good job for the Tigers at shortstop. In fact, all 4 men in that Keystone situation have done a fine job. Two different combinations. Wagner and Dillard and Trammell and Whitaker. They've all played fine. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss on the left-hand curve from Bill Lee. Rusty Staub waiting at the on-deck circle. 1-0 Tigers leading in the third. There's a fly ball to left center, not very deep. Lynn coming in, running hard. Rice coming in, and it drops in between. It is a base hit, a single by Wagner. Lynn was playing fairly deep. Rice had to come a good ways to his left. And the ball dropped at the feet of the two. And Wagner has himself a single. And it looks a little sloppy out there, Paul, from the reaction you got on those two outfielders.
Absolutely. They've got a lot of water in that outfield yesterday with that storm we had here, and just hasn't had time to dry. The sun is out brightly, and maybe by late afternoon we'll have a dry outfield, but not now.
Looks pretty heavy out there right now. Now here's Staub at the plate. He walked in the first inning. Wagner with 2 for 2 is at first base. 1 man down, 1-0 Tigers in the third. Lee kicks and deals, and it is a curve low, ball 1 on Rusty.
That outfield grass here at Tiger Stadium is a little higher than most outfields anyway, to begin with.
He takes the ball wide. That was Lee's curve. Left-handers do not bother Staub as much as most left-handers bother left-hand hitters. He's got a short stroke up there. Chokes the bat. Stands forward. Now the 2-0 delivery. It is a ball in too close at the knees. 3-0 on Staub. Jason Thompson waiting at the on-deck circle for the Tigers. 1-0 they lead Boston the first of 2 games, third inning. Short lead for Wagner. Here's a pitch. Rusty's taking, and it's a walk for him. That's 2 that he's picked up. Lee has walked the 2, and both the walks have been issued to Staub. And here's Rooftop Thompson stepping in. He's had a single in 1 trip. And with the crowd chanting "Roof, Roof" as he steps up to the plate. Man on first, man on second, 1 man down, 1-0 Detroit. The infield in double play depth. They've got Burleson pulled far to his left over back of second. Close up the gap up the middle on Thompson, and also at the same time keep Wagner a little bit closer to the bag at second. Lee looking him over, getting his sign now from Fisk. Looks back to second, holds the set, kicks and deals, and there's a line shot to right field. Coming hard is Evans. He gloves it. Here's a throw back to second. Wagner barely got back in time to avoid the double play. The ball hit hard by Thompson, but Evans charged and made a good catch. Running toward the diamond. That'll mean 2 on and 2 out, and we'll leave it up to Kemp, who picked up an RBI on the unassisted play by Yastrzemski on his ground ball in the first inning. Dick Vitale, the new Piston coach, in attendance here this afternoon. He's always been a fantastic baseball fan. Throw to second. Wagner back, and the ball is out of the mitt of Burleson, but he's backed up by his Keystone partner, Remy. No advance. Staub at first, Wagner at second base. So far, not a pitch to Kemp on this turn at bat. Now Lee ready, holds it at the belt, and delivers. It is a curve that's outside. Ball 1. Tigers have 3 hits. The Bostons have 2. The Tigers lead 1-0. Well, they've got Yastrzemski very deep with the left-handed batter up. He's not going to bother about Staub. He's going to play behind him. And Kemp lays off an outside curve. 2-0 the count on Steve. Cincinnati now batting in the last half of the fourth inning. San Diego leading the Reds 2-0. Kemp waits. Here it comes. He swings, and it's a little roller to first base foul. Dick Trzaskowski will take care of that one. Well, the Tiger hits 2 singles by Wagner and 1 single by Thompson. And the Boston hits a single by Rice and a double by Carbo. But the pitchers have had the upper hand in the early action here in this first game. 2 men on, 2 men out for the Tigers, and Kemp takes a half cut. That is ruled a ball. Now Lee asking the plate umpire Birmingham to check with Dale Ford at third. He does, and Ford says, yep, it is not a strike. He did not go across. Two men on, 2 men out for the Tigers. That's Wagner leading off second. Staub off first base. It is a 3-1 count on Steve Kemp. Lee stretches and delivers. A ball high. The bases are loaded. And before Wackenfuss bats, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Warren Pierce is ready to give you a line, 875-4476, your direct line to involvement and entertainment. Weekday nights at 7 here on WJR Radio 76 Detroit.
Here's Wackenfuss up. The first trip in the first inning. He ended the inning by bouncing to third with a couple of men on base. Now he's up with 3 men on and 2 out against the left-hander Bill Lee. Wackenfuss takes a curve for a strike. In the first inning, the Tigers loaded the bases on 2 singles and a walk. Here in the third, they've loaded the bases on 2 walks and a single. They lead 1-0 in the third, and Wackenfuss has a strike 1 count against him. Parrish is the next batter. Here's the pitch to Wackenfuss. Cut on a bounding ball to third. Hobson gloves it, touches third to get the force on Staub, and the inning's over. The ball hit very hard near the line, but Hobson was right there to glove it. And the Tigers threaten but cannot score in their third inning. No runs, 1 hit, a couple of walks, and 3 runners are left. At the end of 3, Detroit 1, Boston 0.
When your car needs an oil change, chances are what you say is change the oil, which is all you need to say unless you want to make a change for the better. Namely, new Ultra D motor oil from Marathon. Marathon's new Ultra D motor oil is a special blend of natural and synthetic ingredients that's really different from conventional blends. A special blend that means improved engine protection for you under all kinds of weather and driving conditions. New Ultra D motor oil has special anti-wear additives that protect the critical parts of your engine longer than conventionally blended multi-grade oils, up to 15,000 miles. Better motor oil means a better running engine every time you drive your car, wherever you drive.
Make a change for the better with new Ultra D.
A change for the better from the people who do it better. Marathon Oil Company.
Radio 76 salutes Lloyd Raleigh of Seaholm High School, recent recipient of Michigan State University's Alumni Distinguished Scholarship. Congratulations, Lloyd, from WJR Radio.
Bill Wilcox on the mound with the Tigers now ready to face the Boston club in the 4th inning. Tigers 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. Red Sox, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Yankee-Toronto game has gone to the 5th inning. The Yankees still lead 2-1. Baltimore-Cleveland, no score in the 5th inning, and San Diego leading Cincinnati 2-0 in the last half of the 4th. Here's Rice stepping in, and here's Paul Carey.
All right, Ernie, thank you. Rice singled in the first inning. He has one of the 2 hits off Milt Wilcox. A little soft fly ball that he just barely got on the handle and popped it out into right center field. a second leading hitter in the American League. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Rod Carew leading the hitting parade again in the American League. Wilcox winds and delivers. There's a foul bounced over toward the field seats. Over near the Tiger dugout. Got a coolish day here, at least at the outset of this Shrine Day doubleheader. Nice and warm in the bleachers. I see a lot of bare chests out there, but then they're hidden by the wind. They're shielded from the wind. It's blowing in from that way. Up high for a ball. Oh, this is a gorgeous day to be in the bleachers, and yet down around the home plate I see some blankets and jackets and sweaters. 1-2 pitch. Slow one is outside. 2-2 on Rice. It's a cloudy morning in Detroit, but it's all cleared up here now. The windup, the 2-2 pitch to Rice. Slow curve, he struck him out. Oh, he had him out in front of it. That's the fourth strikeout for Wilcox, who set him up nicely. Here's Carl Yastrzemski, who struck out on an off-speed breaking ball in the first inning. Captain Carl with that classic stance of his, the bat stuck straight up in the air. A pitch from Wilcox, high and outside. Ball one. Now Milk winds and delivers. A ball, 2-0. Jazz not hitting with power thus far this year, but he's still got it. Witness his 28 home runs last year. There's ball 3, and the breaking ball stayed away. Now Wilcox shouting in a word or two toward home plate, asking where it was, and it was high, according to plate umpire Nick Bremigan. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fouled. He went after it. I guess if you're going to give anyone the green light on a 3-0 pitch, Carl Yastrzemski's got to be one of the few. One to nothing, the Tigers lead in the fourth inning, the opener of the doubleheader. 3-1 pitch now to Yaz. He takes a walk. It was a little outside. Didn't miss by much. That's the first base on balls issued by Wilcox. And it brings up Carlton Fisk. Carlton tried to test Wilcox with a bunt in the second inning. It was a good bunt. But Fisk slipped trying to get out of the batter's box, and he was a goner. Fisk seems to be taking a lot more time this year in settling himself in the batter's box than he used to. Gets out each time and goes through all sorts of adjustments. He's checked now with third base coach Eddie Yost. One down with a runner at first, Yastrzemski. A pitch from Wilcox. There's a called strike. Tiger infield and double play depth. LaFleur shading him toward left center field. Wilcox now to the stretch. The pitch. Foul to back upstairs. And it'll be coming down below. Look out. 2 strikes on Carlton Fisk. Nick Bremigan calling the balls and strikes here for the opening game. Russ Getz at first. Joe Brinkman at second. Dale Ford at third. Red Sox have one more stop on a long road trip. Already the 2-strike pitch just outside. Ooh, he didn't miss by much. Wilcox thought he had him. Don't think Nick Bremigan appreciated the stance of Wilcox on the mound and the shake of the head. But then Wilcox didn't appreciate the call by Bremigan either. 1-2 count now on Fisk. A man on first, one down. Fisk takes it low and inside. Another very close pitch to take with 2 strikes. Red Sox have played extremely well at home this year. That's generally been the case for Boston teams, but even more so this season. They've had 19 games at home and have won 16 of them. Now the set, the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. That one was well outside the strike zone. Tigers, on the other hand, in terms of wins and losses here in Tiger Stadium, are 9 wins, 6 defeats at home. Not nearly the percentage Boston has turned in. Oh, Fisk has worked Wilcox to a 3-2 count after getting 2 quick strikes on him. There's a throw to first. Yaz gets back. Almost stumbled on the bag. The man from New Hampshire, Carlton Fisk, waits. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Yaz goes. Swung on and missed. Strikeout. Throw to second. He is out at second base. A double play. And that'll end the inning. Fisk struck out swinging. And a good throw by Lance Parrish to Mark Wagner, who put the tag on Yastrzemski, sliding in to complete the double play. For the Red Sox, no runs, no hits, a walk, no errors, nobody left. Tigers come up in their 4th inning. It's Tigers 1, Red Sox nothing.
Reading the Detroit News AM edition can make you smarter, and from now until June 30th, richer, with a new game called Joker Poker. You play it like poker, with cards that appear Monday through Friday in the AM edition of the News. 2 of a kind could win you $50. A Royal Flush, $5,000. Joker Poker, no purchase necessary. Rules and entries available through the Detroit News or in the new AM edition. Like they say, it's the first good news of the day. Only now, it's even more so.
If you haven't read the new AM edition of the News, you just don't know what you're missing. Exclusive new columns like Where the Action Is. It's an early look at the stock market, betting odds, even lottery numbers. You're missing eye-openers with Margie Coons and her views on all the latest trends. Plus the comment page with the timely observations of people like Pete Waldmeyer, Nicholas von Hoffman, and Bill Malden. The new AM News at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. It's the first good news of the day.
Well, the spaceman, Bill Lee, yielded a run to the Tigers in the 1st inning. A couple of singles, a walk sandwiched between, loaded the bases, and a bounce out got a run in for Detroit. Now, that's all the damage the Tigers have done. They did load the bases again in the 3rd inning off Lee on a single and a couple of walks. And we've gotten a confirmation now on the scoring of that inning-ending double play, and I was incorrect in stating Wagner had put the tag. It was Dillard. So if you keep track of such things, that put on Yastrzemski will go 2-4. Here's Lance Parrish. He flied to center his first time up. It was an off-speed pitch from Lee. He didn't get too much of it. The pitch to Lance. Up high and inside. Arcing out of the way of it. Louis Tiant, the Whirling Dervish, and Dave Rozema to go in game 2 here this afternoon. Swing and a miss. He fooled Parrish. Lance way out in front. Lance seems to be coping better with a breaking ball than he did certainly at the end of last season and the beginning of this one. Matter of seeing more of it. The 1-1 pitch now from Lee. There's a slow curve. That one did not get in. Lee's been quite successful with that pitch. It's almost like an Ephus pitch. Really slow. High arcing pitch. He winds and delivers. Swung on a little popper into right field. It'll drop in for a base hit. He just reached out and almost like a check swing, type hit. Got in past the glove of Remy and in front of Evans. It was the second pop single the Tigers have had in the ball game. Well, the Tigers, for the first time, get their leadoff man on base. Parrish at first, Rodriguez at the plate. O'Radio bounced out to short his first time up. Lee, now 31 years old, goes to the set and tosses to first. Parrish gets back. That's that deceptive move of Bill Lee. And we've got a couple of Boston pitchers here this afternoon who are indeed unique out on the mound with their motions. Lee and Tiant. The pitch to the plate. Outside, ball one on O'Radio. With men on base, Lee has a herky-jerky motion with his head. He glances into the plate, over at the bag, and back and forth. It's a disconcerting motion to the base runner. Here's the pitch. Oh, a strike called. O'Radio, I think, would like to see that again. He slipped the fastball past Rodriguez. Chi checking with Fred Hatfield, relaying the signs from Ralph Houck. Nobody out. Parrish at first. Yastrzemski plays toward the mound and off the bag a little bit, as is his custom, trying to hold a runner. Here's the pitch. Slow one is popped in the air to short right field. Backing out is Remy, the second baseman. He dropped the ball, and he's going to have a play at second anyway. They get the force on Parrish, as Lance had, of course, returned to the bag at first. But that was a sun-plagued pop-up that Remy just simply did not handle. He couldn't see. It goes, however, as a simple force out at second of Parrish. That'll bring up Steve Dillard. Well, the ex-Red Sox infielder fly to left his first time up. Fisk has called time. I think that he was directing one of the infielders, but now he wants to go out and talk to Bill Lee. Lee and Fisk have had some verbal bouts in the past. Lee doesn't care where he is or whatever. If he doesn't agree with Fisk, sometimes he can't wave him off with his glove or his head, and he just shouts in at Fisk. No, I don't want that one. He's a funny one. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a one-hopper to Remy. They may get two. To Burleson for one. The relay, it is a tight double play at first base. And that's all for the Tigers. In the fourth inning, no runs, one hit, no errors, nobody left. After 4 innings of play, it's still the Tigers 1, the Red Sox 0.
Little Caesar's Pizza, tastiest in town. A winner any way you slice it, all the way around.
The carry-outs are good and hot, great for nighttime snacks. Or sit down at Little Caesar's,
just order and relax.
Little Caesars has sliced the price of pizza in half. If you clip out the 2-for-1 free pizza coupon that appears in your local newspaper or TV book, you'll get 2 medium Little Caesars pizzas for the price of 1. Now you can cut down on price without cutting down on taste. Little Caesars has the solution to those meals when mom doesn't feel like cooking and the family appetite is bigger than the budget. Use your free pizza coupon from Little Caesars. A winner any way you slice it.
If you want variety, there's a family in for you. It's a winner, come in and see. Little Caesars Pizza, Little Caesars Pizza, a great tasting treat for you.
Patterns in Music is a weave of selected words and music keyed to a special theme. This is Ted Strasser. Join me Sunday mornings at 8 here on WJR Radio 76.
Fifth inning here at Tiger Stadium in Detroit, along with Ernie Harwell. This is Paul Carey. We've got lots of baseball for you this afternoon. The Tigers and Red Sox in a Shrine Day doubleheader. And on that note, I'd like to alert our radio stations throughout the state and Midwest on the Tiger Network that we'll have an extra long period between games today because of the colorful Shrine Day Parade. It'll be probably about a 40-minute break between games, so we'll be away in terms of broadcast an extra 10 minutes, 25-minute interval between the end of the first game and the beginning of the second. Ready to go on the fifth, Fred Lynn at the plate. He swings and bounces one to the right side. Dillard picks it up, a little lob over to Thompson. He got him. One pitch and one away in the fifth inning. Here's Butch Hobson. Hobson still wearing a wrap on his right elbow. He was out of action one game, and he was thankful that the team had a couple of days off here to get well up high for a ball. He's been set back a little bit by that injured elbow. Off to a good start, though, Butch, this year. There's ball 2, low. 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in for Hobson. Wilcox kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. This one moving right along here. The opener of 2. 1-0 Tigers. The pitch from Wilcox. There's a strike called. 2-2 on Hobson. Soft-spoken Alabaman Butch Hobson waits. He cuts and misses. Struck him out. Number 6 in the strikeout column for Wilcox. And that'll bring up Dwight Evans, who took a called third strike his first time up. 2 out, bases empty here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Tigers. Tigers got their run in the first inning with a 1-out. Wagner singled, and Staub walked. Thompson singled to load the bases, and Kemp bounced out to first with a run scoring. Time called. Evans steps back out of the batter's box. Had something in his eye. Just a gorgeous, clear blue sky, but it's tough on the outfielders and infielders here right now. There's a strike across the letters. Breaking ball fed in from Wilcox. He winds, kicks, and fires. Ground ball right back to Wilcox. He gloves it, runs it partway to first, and puts him out. The toss to Thompson. 3 up and 3 down in the 5th inning. The Tigers come up in their half. It's the Tigers 1, the Red Sox 0.
The bases are loaded, and you're at bat in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Jackie Robinson all had brilliant careers. For a sure grand slam, what did all 3 have in common in their major league debuts? Why not think about it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's beer?
Well, the Tigers could not have asked for anything better than that double play ball that Hiller fed to Fred Lynn. It was not hit very quickly, and it had to be turned very rapidly by the young Keystone combination. It had to be charged by Whitaker, and he had a bad angle for his flip to Trammell, but Trammell got rid of it in a hurry to first to get Lynn in a bang-bang play there at first base. Well, the double play took the Tigers out of trouble in the 6th inning. They still cling to a 1-run lead, 3-2. Alan Ripley still on the mound for Boston. It'll be Trammell who turned the double play, stepping up to lead it off for the Tigers here in the top of the 7th inning. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Detroit. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Boston. Trammell stepping in, and back for the play-by-play now. Here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul Carey. Hi again, everybody. Trammell, the batter, and Ripley, who's gone all the way on the mound. The Tigers holding a 1-run margin in the first of 2 games, 3-2. Allen is struck out and bounced to shortstop so far. Right-hander fires. It's in too close on the youngster. Ball 1, the 7th inning underway. Outfield plays him straight up, and the infield back. Here's the motion and the pitch. He swings as a line shot left field corner. Chased to the wall by Rice. He plays the carom. Trammell going for two. The throw to Remy. Not in time as Flad gets him in there safely for a two-bagger. We've had a flash here on the big scoreboard that Al Unser has won the Indianapolis 500. Here's LaFleur. He's had a perfect day so far. 2 singles and a home run. His 5th home run of the year. Tigers lead it by a run at 3-2. Ripley on the mound. The Tigers have had a hit in every inning, at least 1 hit, and their hit total has reached 10. Strike called. He got a curve over. Tom Bergmeyer, the left-hander, up again in the Boston bullpen. Now Trammell coming down the line from second to base. The infield up a step or so on the speedy Ron LaFleur. And Ron takes a ball in close at the hands. He had to move out of the way. Whitaker waits on deck. Ripley wants another baseball. Don't forget now, next Sunday, a week from today, June the 4th, it's the Free Jacket Day at Tiger Stadium. Well, the Tigers playing the Minnesota Twins at 1:30. Blue vinyl jacket with a Tiger emblem for every boy and girl, 14 or under, on a full-price ticket. Here's LaFleur waiting on the 1-1 pitch now from Ripley. Right-handed sets, kicks, delivers. Here's a swing and a miss. He took a good cut of the fastball. Yankees are leading Toronto. They've taken that game into the 9th inning, the first of 2 at New York. Yankees 4, Toronto 3. White Sox still ahead of Oakland, 2-0 there in the 5th. Cleveland, Baltimore at the end of 4 tied 2-2. Kansas City leading the Twins 2-0 in the 4th inning. LaFleur waits on a 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. He swings at the ground ball foul down to Coach Fred Hatfield. Now, this Boston franchise drew over 2 million people last year. They drew 2,074,549. For the first time ever over the 2 million mark. Things weren't quite that good back in Depression days here when Boston finished 8th in 1932. Their total attendance for the year was 182,150. Now the set and the pitch again to LaFleur. He swings a fly ball at the left field corner. Rice going back toward the wall. It is off the wall. Here comes Trammell around third. He'll be held at third. And the throw goes to second. It's a double for LaFleur. Rice spun around, threw the ball into second. Hatfield held the man at third because the ball was hit off the wall, and McCarron played very well by Rice. I don't believe Allen had a chance to score. Here comes the manager Zimmer out, and we're going to have a pitching change. With Whitaker, left-hand batter, coming to the bat. Don Zimmer now goes to his left-hand bullpen. Tom Bergmeyer will come in and take over. So LaFleur now has 4 for 4 in that leadoff spot. Here's the hand for Ripley as he leaves the mound, and Bergmeyer is not going to take the card in. He's going to trot in from the bullpen. So the veteran left-hander, Bergmeyer, takes over. The Tigers lead to 3-2. They've got runners at second and third and nobody out in the 7th inning.
Well, the Tigers have not scored more than 3 runs in a ball game since last Saturday when they scored 5 times and lost to these Red Sox. That is a week ago yesterday back in Detroit. Now, there's an instance where this ballpark is, again, unique for that wall down the line. It's very short down the left field line. They measured, I think it's 3. You can't even see it from our vantage point, but I think it's 309 they list. Now, they list 315, and it's actually about 309. And he hit that ball above where Rice could have gone to leap for it off the wall. Rice knew it. He played it well, played the carom, turned around, turned his back to the infield, and waited for it to bounce off the wall. But he fired to second. Well, there was just no way for Freddie Hatfield to tell he was going to throw to second. Had he gone home with it, Trammell would not have been able to score by any means. He'd have been out. So it was a wise move by Hatfield. I guess Rice had already conceded the fact that Trammell would have scored, but the Tigers are not as good a judge of that left field wall as are the Red Sox, and specifically Jim Rice. Well, the Tigers now have 11 hits in the ball game, all off the starter Alan Ripley, who has allowed the 3 runs in working 6 innings, pitching to 2 men here in the 7th. Well, the veteran left-hander, pardon me, Bergmeyer taking over. Tom working for the 16th time. 1 victory, 1 loss, 3 saves for Tom this year. Ernie?
Well, it's the stage of the game now where Boston will have to play its infield end to try to keep it close. Tigers lead 3-2. Man at third, Trammell. Man at second, LaFleur. Nobody down, and Whitaker at the plate. He's had a single and a couple of bounces out to second base. 1 for 3 for Lou. Bergmeyer, the left-hander, kicks and deals, and there's a bounding ball to short. Burleson has it, throw to first, the runners hold on. He was playing in the inner grass, and he caught the hard grounder, threw out Whitaker, so Staub will be the next man to bat now with runners at second and third. Al Hiller came in the 6th inning and did a fabulous job getting Lynn to hit into a double play to end the inning. Also in the 5th inning, the Tigers picked up a double play with runners at first and third and only 1 away to stave off the Boston attack. And now the Red Sox pitching, trying to do the same with the Tiger batters. 3-2, Tigers lead him. The infield in close on Staub. He's had a single for 3. Foul to third, bounced into a double play and singled. Bergmeyer against Rusty. And the pitch is a strike. He fed him a fastball in above the knees. Thompson waiting on deck. After the leadoff man, LaFleur, there's 7 left-hand batters in a row for Ralph Houk's team. Bergmeyer to the set position. Rusty waits. Here it comes. He's almost hit by an inside fastball. Ball 1, 1-1. Spun away quickly. Hobson wide of the bag, even with it. All the infielders are pulled to the inner grass. The outfield is straight up on Staub. Now Bergmeyer sets and pitches. Swing a fly ball in into center, not very deep. Lynn is under it, waiting. He has it. Here's a tag by Trammell, headed home, and he goes back now. LaFleur's run up his back, and Fisk is throwing the ball back to Remy, who's running down LaFleur, and the tag is made by Hobson. It's a double play. And Bergmeyer gets Boston out of trouble. Trammell was bluffing coming down, and LaFleur followed him and then ran up the back of Trammell, and the Tigers almost had 2 men at third base, and finally LaFleur was out in the rundown to complete the double play. 8-2-4-5 is the way that one is scored, and the inning is over, and despite 2 doubles, the Tigers fail to score. Here comes Boston to bat in the 7th. Detroit 3, Red Sox 2.
Well, that's a sign of what's been happening to the Tigers of late. When you're going bad, things just keep on snowballing in that direction, and it happened right there. The Tigers with the infield drawn in, just hoping to punch something through. Rusty chokes up on the bat. He can control that bat as well as anybody. But he got it up in the air, a shallow fly ball. Lynn had no difficulty at all with it. His throw came right into Fisk. Trammell came down the line quite a way in a bluff coming home. He put the brakes on, and LaFleur apparently, presuming Trammell was going to try to come home, missing something, got hung up. He was 2/3 of the way to third as Trammell returned to third, and there was simply no place for LaFleur to go but to jog back and forth, and he was eventually cut down. The play going 8-2-4-5, and the Tigers, despite 2 opening doubles, failed to score in the inning.
Hobson leading off for the Red Sox in the 7th inning. The Tigers holding a 3-2 lead in the first game of the Sunday doubleheader. And the game is now in the hands of the 2 relief pitchers, the left-handers Bergmeyer and Hiller, each of whom came in and did a great job of slamming the door in the face of the opposition. Hobson against the starting pitcher, Dillingham, drew a couple of walks in 2 turns up there. Left-hander Hiller delivers, and the right-hand batting Hobson looks to the curve for a strike. 3 runs, 11 hits for Detroit, 2 runs and 4 hits for the Red Sox. Here's a fly ball lifted to deep right center. Going back is Corcoran. LaFleur's there. Ron makes the catch for the out. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
Warren Pierce is ready to give you a line, 875-4476, your direct line to involvement and entertainment. Weekday nights at 7 here on WJR Radio 76 Detroit.
Evans at the plate. The big right-hand batter takes a ball in close, ball one. 3-2, Tigers lead, 7th inning. Evans has hit into double play and fly to right. There's Hiller's changeup that stays outside. 2-0, the count on him now. Rodriguez very deep, guarding the line at third. Trammell deep in the hole at short. Now Hiller kicks and delivers. Here's a swing and a miss on a fastball about knee-high. Brohammer waits on deck. He's not going to bat, though. We're going to get Bailey, I believe. Here's the pitch, swung on and hit high and foul out of play. Outfield swung around the left on Evans. Now Hiller with a new ball to work with and a 2-2 delivery to Evans. He swings and fouls it away. Tigers scored first in this game. They got a run of the third on a single by LaFleur. A single by Whitaker sent him to third, and then he scored when Staub hit into a double play. The other two Tiger runs came on home runs. LaFleur and Thompson, bases empty homers. Here's a swing. He struck him out. Evans goes down cutting. That's 2 down. Brohammer's not going to bat. Bob Bailey, the Husky right-hand hitter, going to come in to bat for Brohammer. Former National Leaguer. Guy with a lot of power in that right-hand stick of his. Ready to step in now. Bailey batting 188. He has 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. Hiller winds and delivers, and it is a ball high, ball 1. Bases empty, 2 down. It is a curve that got the inside corner, 1-1. Brohammer had a line to third and a single right in his 2 trips. Hiller's curve is in a little bit too close, making a 2-1 count on the pinch hitter, Bailey. Red Sox have left 4 runners on. They got their 2 runs in the 4th inning. There's a swing and a long drive to left. It is off the wall, played by Kemp. Bailey holds it a long single. That one hit above the auxiliary scoreboard, between the top of the scoreboard and the top of the wall. Kemp played the carom very well, and Bailey holds it first with a gigantic single. That's the first runner since Hiller took over. And here's Burleson, who's had a double for 3. He's the man who started the 2-run rally in the 4th inning for Boston. Set by Hiller, Burleson takes a ball low. Burleson opened that inning with a double. Went to third when Remy bounced out. Rice then walked. Yastrzemski doubled in a run. And Fisk hit a sacrifice fly to left to get the other one home. Don Denkinger took a look at the baseball. He says it's okay. Let's keep it in play. Tigers lead 3-2, 7th inning, first game in Boston. Red Sox with 2 out and the man on. There's a little looper hit out to Trammell. He has it to the out. The bat was broken, and the barrel part went over in the box seat, very near the Tiger dugout, but nobody seems to be injured. In the 7th for the Red Sox, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 7, Detroit 3, Boston 2.
Folks, it's me again, your exhausted man about town, your exhausted roving reporter, bringing you up to date on what's happening in the Tri-County, Ann Arbor, and Ypsilanti areas. Boy, am I exhausted. Do you know how many Marathon dealers are having Marathon Man tire days? There must be 29 of them, and I've been to all of them. That means there are 29 Marathon men eager to offer you Firestone tires at unbelievably low prices. I mean, these guys are going all out for tire sales. They've got popular polyester cord Firestone Deluxe Champion tires priced at... Can you believe it? And Radio Deluxe Champion pipe walls start at... And that's all you pay for a Firestone radio. Why, it's unbelievable. The thing for you to do is drive into your participating Marathon dealer. Remember, there are 29, and I've been to every one of them. Get a super deal on a Firestone tire. Me? I'm exhausted. I'm going to have to go back to the man in the booth. Catch you later.
See Gene Brannick at Gene's Marathon in Livonia and Jim Fox at Fox's Marathon, Ann Arbor.
The shortest boxing match was held in Lewiston, Maine in 1946 when Ralph Walton was knocked out in 10.5 seconds in the first round. I'm Dale Conquest, WJR Sports.
Well, they're plenty close here at Fenway. In the 8th inning, the Tigers lead it 3-2. Bergmeyer on the mound in relief, and Thompson, who hit his 13th home run of the 6th inning, to give the Tigers their lead run, comes up again. Prior to that, he'd had a walk and a pop up to shortstop. Now facing the left-hander Tom Bergmeyer. Capacity crowd here again in Boston on a beautiful afternoon. Hope you'll be out at Tiger Stadium with us tomorrow night. The Tigers entertain the Baltimore Orioles on family night. Big doings at the ballpark this week. Come on out and join us. Now here's Thompson at the plate. And the curve is hit on the ground to Remy. He goes to his right. He gobbles it up. He throws over to first for Yastrzemski, and there's one pitch and one out in the Tiger 8th inning. Kemp for the walk. A strikeout on the bounce to second. Remy's been a busy man out there at second base. The Tigers have hit only 3 fly balls caught by the outfield. 1 in right and 2 in center. Here's Kemp stepping up. Yankees lead Toronto in their first game in the 9th inning, 5-3. Cleveland, Baltimore tied 2-2 there in the 6th inning. That's a doubleheader. Chicago leads in their first game with Oakland 2-0 in the 8th. Here's Kemp at the plate. It is a ball low to Steve, ball 1. Hobson, even with a bag at third, the other infielders are back. On the left-hand batting Kemp, and the outfield is straight away on him. Wind up by Bergmeyer. The pitch is a very wide curve, scooped out of the dirt by Fisk. Tigers divided their 4-game set at Tiger Stadium with Boston, you remember, last weekend. And in this series, they've lost the first 2 at Fenway. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 2-1, the count on Kemp. May waits on deck. Now Bergmeyer checks his sign with his sketchy fist. The wind up, the pitch. Swing, a foul fly, hit the left field. It'll reach the seat back at third. In the second game, Jim Slayton will be on the mound for the Tigers, and the Michigan product, Jim Wright, will be making his first start of the year against the Tigers, and his 3rd start of the year. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a wide one. Full count now on Kemp. Bergmeyer in relief for the starter, Alan Ripley. Bergie came on in the 7th inning. Now the motion of the pitch, and Kemp takes a ball in too close. He checks on a close one and gets a walk. That's the 2nd walk of the game, and 43 for the year now for the league leader, Kemp. Some fisticuffs back in the right field seats, and they've stopped the action on the diamond to watch the action in the stands for a moment. Milt May stepping in. Infield and double play depth on Milt. Yastrzemski will hold on the bag over there first with Kemp. Tigers lead it 3-2, 8th inning, trying to add to that lead. And a wide curve outside. LaFleur has been the big man of the Tiger attack. He's had a home run, a double, and 2 singles, 4 for 4 this afternoon. It is a ball low, 2-0 to count on Milt May. Next Tiger batter will be Tim Corcoran. Not much of a lead for Kemp at first base. May waits. Here it comes. He takes a ball outside, low and away with a Bergmeyer fastball. Well, a great day for baseball and a lot of fun at the ballpark. You can have a lot of fun at Tiger Stadium this coming week. Tigers will be in town entertaining Baltimore, Milwaukee, and Minnesota, each one of those clubs coming in for the first trip of the year. Now the 3-0 delivery, and May takes a strike in above the knees. Berkmeyer fed him a fastball. 3-1 the count on Milt. Kansas City now leads the Twins in the 5th inning 4-0 at Minnesota. May waits. Here it comes. He swings, chops one on the right side, fielded by Yastrzemski. He goes to Burleson. One. The relay back to the pitch, recovering in time for the double play. Oh, Boston comes up with its fourth double play of the afternoon, and the Tigers are out in the 8th inning with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the last half of the 8th. Detroit 3, Boston 2.
It's time to batter up during your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth Dealers' 3rd annual honorary Tiger Bat Boy contest. This is Ernie Harwell. This year, 22 Detroit area youngsters will be selected from each Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealership to become honorary Tiger Bat Boy. It's easy to enter. If your boy or girl is between the ages of 8 and 14, bring him or her into your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer before May 31st to register. Each youngster must be accompanied by a licensed driver 18 or older. On June the 5th, there will be a drawing to determine the winning bat boys. Then 22 games will be set aside to honor the winners. Each winner will receive a simulated Tiger uniform and tickets to the game for the family. So batter up. Bring your youngster into your participating Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer and sign him or her up to be an honorary Tiger Bat Boy. There's no obligation, and we'll even give your child a free Tiger iron-on patch just for registering. Stop in today.
John Hiller with a job to do. Protect that 1-run lead at Fenway. About as tough as doing open heart surgery with a mixmaster. But John's got the job in front of him now, and he faces the heavy part of the Boston batting order in the 8th inning. Remy, Rice, and Yastrzemski. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hitters. Remy's 0 for 3. He's bounced the first, grounded the second, and flied to left. They've cleared out the combatants down there in the right field seats now, so everybody can concentrate on baseball. Yankees beat Toronto. That final's been posted here. New York 5, Toronto 3 in the first game. Here's Remy at the plate, and he swings at a fly ball to short left center. Coming in LaFleur. Here's Kemp crossing in front, and he makes the catch for the out. 1 pitch and 1 down in the Boston 8th, and here is Jim Rice, who has flied to left and walked twice. 0 for 1 for Rice. Outfield will go deep to left on him, and the infield will play back. Rodriguez very near the line as he backed up at third. The pitch is fouled away in the first base side. That one hitting on the roof of the grandstand. Strike 1, the count on Jim Rice. 3-2 Tigers. There's a fastball high to Jim. Bases empty, 1 man down, 8th inning. Hiller kicks and deals. Here's a bounding ball to short. To the left goes Trammell. Has it. Here's the throw to Thompson. Got him. They're 2 down now in the 8th. And the first baseman, Carl Yastrzemski, steps up. Carl bounced to third, doubled and singled. He's the only Boston player with 2 hits. Boston's had a hit in every inning since the 4th, beginning with the 4th. Here's a drive to right, and that will be in for a hit. As Yastrzemski laid on the first pitch and wrapped a single to right. Bringing to bat the catcher, Carlton Fisk, with 2 down and 1 on in the 8th inning. The man at first base is a tying run. Tigers lead at 3-2. That's the 6th hit for the Red Sox. Yastrzemski has half of them. Fisk is flied to left twice. The second time was a sacrifice RBI. And the last time up, he drew a base on ball. The Tigers have pulled 3 double plays. The Red Sox have pulled 4. Fisk not quite ready to step in that right-hand batter's box. Now he's in there, and Hiller peers in to get his sign from Milt May. Tigers lead 3-2. The pitch swung on and fouled the screen. He didn't get much of the fastball that time. Boston leading the East. They started today 2 games up on the Yankees, 4 ahead of the Tigers. Milwaukee next to Detroit, 7 back. Thompson holding at first with Yastrzemski. Not much of a lead for Yaz. The pitch, and Fisk looks at a curve for strike. That's 2 of them now. Don Zimmer watching the action from the top dugout step. Tom told us that his son Tom is going to manage in the rookie league out there in the great Northwest. Keeping it in the family. Now the strike 2 pitch is a ball low on Fisk, 1-2 on Carlin. Big piece of real estate between Corcoran, the right fielder, and the right field line. The Tiger outfield swung around toward left to play Fisk to pull the ball. Now the set by Hiller. He kicks and deals. Here's a foul out of play. We've got the totals now from that first game at Yankee Stadium. The Yanks had 5-12-1. Toronto 3-6-0. Guidry is a winner. He's now won 7 without a defeat. Jefferson absorbs the loss. He's 3-6. Mickey Rivers hit a home run in the 7th with nobody on. That's his 2nd of the year. That's the first game, and the Yankees won it 5-3 over Toronto. Here's the pitch. Fisk takes a very wide one. 2-2 the count on him. Tigers with a 1-run margin in the 8th inning at Fenway Park in Boston. Red Sox have Yastrzemski at first and 2 down. Hiller ready, but Fisk decides that he wants to step out of the batter's box for a moment. Time called at the plate. Back in now. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball high. Full count. That'll give Yastrzemski the opportunity to go on this pitch. Hiller scraping around with his spikes behind the slab. Now extends that left arm. Fisk has stepped away. I think Hiller wants another ball. Yep, that's what he'll get from Denkinger. Now Yastrzemski trying to edge off a little farther at first base. Here's the set. Here's a pitch on the way. Swung on. There's a drive to left. It'll be trouble. It is off the wall. Played by Kemp. Here comes Yastrzemski coming into third. He'll hold there on the double by Fisk. So the Red Sox are kicking up their heels now in the 8th inning. With 2 out, they've had a single by Yastrzemski and a double by Fisk. Boston has runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 down, and Fred Lynn will be the batter. Lynn is fly to center, bounced to 2nd, and hit into a double play. 2nd to short to 1st. Infield back, the outfield straight away and deep on the left-hand batting Lynn. We've got a left-hander against a left-hander in this crucial situation. 3-2 Tigers. Here's a curve. It hangs high. Ball 1 on Fred. Hiller trying to hold off these powerful Boston hitters. Yastrzemski at 3rd. Fisk at 2nd base. He takes the strike on the outside corner. Fastball evens the count 1-1 on Fred Lynn. Fred digging in, waiting on Hiller's next delivery. He takes a half-cut. It's ruled a ball. He checked in time. That was a dipping curve toward the outside. Simpsky keeping an eye on Hiller as he wanders slightly down from 3rd base toward home. Fisk getting a longer lead now at 2nd. There's a swing and a bounding ball down first base way. Thompson grabs it, race to the bag. Safe. Run scores. Fisk takes 3rd. Game tied. It'll be a single. Shepard back at first base. Dropped the ball. Now, Hiller didn't break off the mound. We're going to get an argument from Ralph Houck. The game has been tied. Houck is putting up a beat at first base. He's claiming that the ball was foul. Claiming that the man ran out of the line. I'm not quite sure. It was very close either way. Anyway, the game is tied 3-3. Boston now has runners at first and third, and Houck continues his argument down at first base. Houck keeps pointing to the outside of the line. Now Thompson takes up the argument. Fielding the ball at deep first base, and he seemed to be over in foul territory. It was back of the bag, no question about that. And Hiller didn't break for first base. Thompson then took a momentary look to see if Hiller was coming. He wasn't, and then he tried to race for the bag. Well, I really believe that the argument is whether the ball was fair or foul.
Yeah, I got the impression that the way Milt May reacted, either that was the case or that the sign had been given by Dave Phillips, raising both hands, indicating foul ball. And that may have been the reason Hiller didn't come over to cover.
Could be. I didn't see that. I was watching the Yastrzemski come home at that time. Anyway, whatever the argument was, Houck now gives up and walks slowly back to the dugout. The Red Sox with 2 out have tied the game at 3-3 in the 8th inning. And they are still alive against Hiller and the Tigers, so the man at third and the man at first. And Hobson at the plate. Now Thompson is continuing the argument down at first base with Phillips. Man at first and a man at third. 2 away. Hobson not quite ready. The argument continues.
Thompson is really mad. He fired that ball. Hiller didn't even have the ball. Thompson had it all the time. And he fired it back to John on the mound.
Here's Hobson. He's drawn a couple of walks and then a fly ball to center field of LaFleur. Red Sox have tied the game 3-3. Right hand batting Hobson at the plate. Man at first and a man at third. And he swings and misses on a changeup. Strike 1 on Butch. That was the 8th hit for Boston. The RBI single by Fred Lynn. Swing and a foul. It'll be in the seats. So with 2 out, Boston against Hiller picked up a single by Yastrzemski, a double by Fisk, an infield hit by Lynn to tie the game. John sets and pitches, and Hobson swings as a bombing ball, deep shortstop. Throw to second. He got him in time for the out. Good play by Trammell on a 2-hopper. He flips the ball over to Whitaker. Lynn slid in at second, hurt himself slightly, but he's back on his feet and seems to be okay. But Boston has tied the game, and at the end of 8, the score, Tigers 3, Boston 3.
No charge checking. Other banks make it tougher. City National makes it easier. Now, while other banks are increasing the minimum savings balance you need for no charge checking, CNB lowers it with combo checking.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
That's right. Some banks are raising the minimum savings requirement to a whopping $500, but CNB lowers it to $200. A $200 minimum balance in savings or a $200 minimum balance in your checking account, and you check without charge. $200 in savings, or $200 in checking. And you write all the checks you want without charge. All your checks without charge. Other banks make no-charge checking tougher. Combo checking makes it easier.
Who's got it? Nobody but City National Bank.
Member FDIC. This is Jim Garrett. If you want to join a 4-H club or start one, call 4-H, listed under your county's Cooperative Extension Service.
Well, Mr. Vince Desmond went over and checked the press box right after that last play, and the version over there on looking at the replay, they've got the local television here, so they've got access to the replay on TV, was that the big argument was centered around the fact that the first base umpire, Phillips, when the ball was hit down the line, ruled the ball foul, at least indicated that it was foul, and thereby Thompson did hesitate and didn't run for the bag. It's about the same thing that Paul mentioned when we were discussing it last inning. And that's what brought out the argument from Ralph Houck and the Tigers. Anyway, it stands as a single. It tied the game. It is 3-3 as we go to the ninth inning. And Corcoran will be the batter. He's lined to Yastrzemski, who took a hit away from him, and then he's had 2 singles to right. 2 for 3 for Tim, facing the left-hander Bergmeyer. Ninth inning. Swing, there's a line shot into center field, and Corcoran, coming out of his batting slump, has picked up 3 straight hits after his first out. Here comes Zimmer out. He may make a change right here. Rodriguez is stepping up to the plate now. And Zimmer looking to the bullpen. He's had Campbell throwing out there. He gets the ball from Bergmeyer, and he makes a sign for the bullpen. So it's not going to be Campbell this time. Who is it out there? Can you see?
I think it's Stanley coming in. Let me just check. He's, yeah, let's see. That's Stanley. Oh, Bob Stanley, a big right-hander, is coming in. He's had Campbell warming. He was warming in the last inning. And he's going to come in with a right-hander, but not his ace, Campbell. But he's going to call on the hard-throwing right-hander, Bob Stanley. Rodriguez had already been announced as the pinch hitter, and Zimmer then immediately went to the mound to make his change, bringing the right-hander to face the right-hand hitting Aurelio Rodriguez. Well, Bergmeyer, who came on to work out of a big jam in the 7th inning, leaves here in the top of the 9th inning with the Red Sox now tied with the Tigers. And Stanley, tall right-hander, trots out of the baseball cart to take over now for Bergmeyer. Ripley had gone the first 6 innings, working to 2 men in the 7th. Bergmeyer winds up working 2 complete innings, pitching to 1 man here in the 9th inning. Bergmeyer has not allowed a run. He has given up 1 hit. He walked 1, and he struck out none. Let's check what Stanley has done so far this year for the Red Sox. He's won 3 and lost 1, all as a relief pitcher, and Stanley has 3 saves to his credit, having worked in 15 other Red Sox games. He's coming through very well for them in the bullpen. During the absence of Campbell while he was injured, it was the likes of Bergmeyer and Stanley who took over and filled the void. Well, Stanley, because of his improvement, enabled the Red Sox, plus the fact that Jim Wright, who's starting in the 2nd game, has come through this year, enabled the Red Sox to make some deals. That's why they were able to give up Rick Wise. Reggie Cleveland was gone, and deal away Paxton to Cleveland. Well, Stanley now ready to take over. He will face Aurelio Rodriguez. The Tigers have out-hit the Red Sox 12-8. They saw the 1-run lead slip away in the bottom of the 8th inning on that disputed play at first base. Ready to go, Ernie?
Rodriguez stepping in. He's batting .286. He's got a couple of home runs and 12 RBIs. Man on first base. That's Corcoran. There's nobody down in the 9th. The Tigers trying to get in front again. They've led 1-0, trailed 2-1, then tied it 2-2, went ahead in the 6th, 3-2, and Boston tied it in the 8th. It's been a seesaw battle here at Fenway Park. Bob Stanley, the big right-hander, delivers. Here's a strike call. Rodriguez squared the bunt, didn't offer on the fastball. Ninth inning, 3-3 at Fenway. Next batter will be Trammell. Butch Hobson in close at third. Yastrzemski holding on the bag with Corcoran at first base. Stanley has his sign from fifth. Sets and pitches. Rodriguez takes a ball low. Again, he had squared the bunt, didn't go for it. 1-1, the count on Aurelio. "20 hits in this game. Neither team's made an error. There have been 7 double plays. Here's the ball outside. Still looking for the bunt. Boston charging their infielders from the corners, and the count is 2-1 on Rodriguez. Time call. The ball was thrown from left field by Rice, and umpire Hank Soar back at third. It went through his legs. That's what caused a little crowd reaction there. Now Rodriguez waiting on the next pitch from Stanley. He squares the bunt. He bumps the ball back of the plate, foul. And let's balls now for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is WJR Detroit. Hazy sunshine and warm with high temperatures close to 90. Tonight, mostly fair and a bit humid with the low overnight near 60 degrees. Presently in Detroit, under mostly sunny skies, it is 87 degrees.
Rodriguez, unsuccessful in trying to lay one down for a sacrifice, now has a 2-2 count on him. Nobody out with Tim Corcoran at first base. And Stanley ready to go to work again. Game tied 3-3 in the 9th inning. He pitches. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck out. Trammell will be the Tiger batter. Alan Trammell is struck out, grounded the shortstop, and hit a double to left field his last time up. Corcoran still at first. Now there's one out in the 9th inning. Ripley, Bergmeyer, and Stanley have pitched for Boston in this game. There's a strike called on Alan Trammell. Stanley's fastball in above the knees. Outfield straight away on Allen. Now he takes in too close, and the count is 1-1. That ball almost got by Fisk. Ron LaFleur, who's been the hitting star for the Tigers, is waiting on deck. Ron has 4 for 4. Stanley ready, sets and deals. Here's a strike. He curved it. 1-2, the count on Trammell. Another close one. 3-3 tie, 9th inning. Here it comes. He takes the ball low. 2-2 on Alan Trammell. It'll be Jim Slayton and Jim Wright in the second game. Allen digging in, 2-2 the count. Runner goes, the ball is outside. Here's a throw by Fisk into second. He is out at second base. Fisk to Remy, the second baseman, puts the tag on him as Corcoran is out at second base. The count on Alan Trammell. 2 out, nobody on. The game tied 3-3. Now time called in the outfield. I think there's a beach ball or either a frisbee down there that Fred Lynn's going to have to retrieve. picks up the beach ball and hands it to somebody in the Boston bullpen. Three tie, ninth inning. The bases are now empty for Detroit. 2 down, Trammell waiting on a 3-2 delivery by the relieving right-hander Stanley. Here's the pitch. Swung on a fly ball at the right. It's slicing, and it'll be foul back toward the seats. Out of play. Now, Stanley picks up his sign from Fisk. He's about ready to go again against Trammell. He winds and delivers. Here's a strike call. Struck him out. The inning's over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left for the Tigers. Here come the Red Sox to bat him tonight. Detroit 3, Boston 3.
The end of school can also mean the beginning of more dirty finger marks on your walls and woodwork. So True Value Hardware stores are offering True Test Easy Care Latex Flat Enamel at a special price for just $9.97 a gallon. Easy Care has a scrubbable enamel hard finish, yet it has a flat latex look, so it's ideal for walls and woodwork in any room. True Test Easy Care Latex Flat Enamel from True Value Hardware stores has earned the Good Housekeeping seal, and it comes in white plus 44 decorative colors for just $9.97 a gallon. Take advantage of the values on True Test Easy Care and many other True Test paints during National True Test Paint Week, now until June 4th, exclusively at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
True Value Hardware is more than just a name. It's a way of doing business that means True Value.
National League, Pittsburgh leads Montreal in the 6th inning 5-2. Now in the 9th inning for Boston, it'll be Evans to lead it off. He'll be followed by Bailey. Then the top of the batting order, Rick Burleson. Rodriguez at third base, Trammell at short, Whitaker at second, Thompson at first. Killer delivers, and there's a long foul fly out of the ballpark. He pulled it foul. Strike 1 on Dwight Evans. Evans has bounced to third for double play. Fly to right and struck out swinging. Right-hand batter waiting. Hiller delivers. Here's a curve at high. 1-1 on Evans. Game tied at 3-3 in the 9th inning. Tigers got their first man on, but they couldn't move him around in their 9th. Here's the pitch by Hiller. And Evans takes a half cut and holds up. It's the ball. 2-1, the count on Dwight. Bailey waiting on deck. He swings and misses. Oh, that was a vicious cut. 2-2 on Evans. Hiller making him wait a little bit. Evans digs in. Here it comes. He swings and fouls it away. Back onto the screen behind the plate. Boston with a run in the 8th inning on a disputed play. They tied the game with that run. 2-out infield hit by Lynn. Here's a pop foul out of play up this way. 2-2 the count on Dwight Evans. This is the first of a Sunday doubleheader at Fenway Park in Boston. Here's a ball in close, a changeup. Full count on Evans, leading it off in the 9th. Three runs, 12 hits for Detroit. 3 runs, 8 hits for Boston. Hiller checks his sign with May. Works again. The pitch is swung on. He struck him out. Breaking ball toward the outside fooled him. 1 down for the Red Sox, and here comes Bob Bailey, the Husky right-hand hitting designated batter. 2 strikeouts for Hiller. He's a fan to Evans each time. Bailey singled in the 7th off John Hiller, the only time he's been to bat. Hiller's curve is high, ball 1. Brohammer started in this number 9 spot as the DH, and then Bailey came into bat for him. 3-3 tie, 9th inning, 1 out, nobody on. He takes a fastball in close, 2-0 on Bailey. Burleson on deck for Boston. Billingham started for the Tigers. Hiller relieved him in the 6th inning. Now the left-hander ready to check his sign and go to work. He pitches. It is a ball high on the changeup. Hiller yelling into the plate umpire Dinkinger. He thought he had a strike on that pitch. Oh, Bailey has taken the count to 3-0. He takes the walk, ball 4. Fastball low. That'll put a man on with a man out and bring up Burleson. He's had a double in 4 turns at bat, the leadoff man for Boston. Let's see if we'll get a runner now for Bailey at first base. Duffy is coming in to run. Duffy at first base now, running for Bailey. Burleson at the plate. The infield and double play depth on him. Here's a fly ball to right, slicing. Kaufman coming over, running hard, makes the catch, going to his left. And Duffy retreats and holds at first. That will bring up Jerry Remy in the 9th inning with 2 down and the man on. The game tied 3-3 in Boston. Jerry Remy. Second base, Remy. Left-hand batting second baseman Jerry Remy ready to step in against Hiller in a 3-3 tie. 2 out, 1 on for Boston in the 9th inning. Runner goes. The pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to second. He is safe at second base. Duffy steals second on a very close play. There's a strike on Remy. Duffy on second. Remy at the plate. Strike 1, the count on him. Hiller ready to go to work again. Duffy leads down from second base. The outfield slightly toward left on Jerry Remy. And he swings as a fly ball to left center. LaFleur there has it, and we go into extra innings. In the 9th for the Red Sox. No runs, no hits. They had a walk, no errors, 1 man left. And at the end of 9, Detroit 3, Boston 3.
You're at bat in the Labatt's baseball trivia game. And here's the pitch. When was the first baseball game broadcast over radio? Why not take a time out and think about it over a cool, refreshing Labatt's Blue? The first play-by-play of a Major League game was reported on August 5th, 1921, over KDKA in Pittsburgh, in a National League game against the Philadelphia Phillies. Harold Arlen was the announcer. Great baseball calls for great beer. Labatt's Blue. Call for Labatt. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Distributed by Labatt Importers Incorporated, Buffalo, New York.
For beer at its finest, get your hands on Labatt's. It's Canada's #1 beer. As fresh and crisp as where it comes from. Radio 76 salutes Bruce Galbraith, recently named director of the Interlochen Academy and chairman of the Michigan Youth Arts Festival, which was held last Saturday in Mount Pleasant. Congratulations, Bruce, from WJR Radio.
Inning on tap at Fenway, and this is quite a battle. 3-3, it's all tied. LaFleur steps in to lead it off for the Tigers. Let's tune in on Paul Carey.
All right, Ernie, Ron has had quite a day for himself at the plate. He's 4 for 4. A couple of singles, a home run, and a double. Scored a couple of runs. Facing Stanley for the first time, the pitch is swung on a bouncer right back to the mound. Stanley off quickly, has it, throws to first. He got him. 1 out on the Tiger 10th inning. That'll bring up Lou Whitaker. Lou is 1 for 4. He's now hit safely in 14 of his last 15 games. Well, the Tigers in this seesaw battle led in the 3rd inning 1-0. Boston took a 2-1 lead in the 4th. The Tigers tied it in the 5th inning on LaFleur's home run. Thompson's home run in the 6th inning gave them a 3-2 lead. Then the infield hit by Fred Lynn, hotly disputed by the Tigers, resulted in the tying run in the 8th inning. There's a chopper out in front of the plate, fielded by Fisk. It's a fair ball. He throws to first and gets it. That ball hit right in front of the plate. Dribbles just a couple of steps down the 3rd base line, and not a difficult play for Carlton Fisk. Now, there are 2 quick outs here in the Tiger 10th inning. Tigers have not hit the ball more than about 40 feet. And there are 2 outs in the 10th inning against Stanley. There's another frisbee that got caught in left field, and Jim Rice is a better home run hitter than he is a frisbee thrower. He got very little distance on it. Trying to return it. Now the umpire is going to stick it in his belt and his back there. That's Larry McCoy out at second base. Here's Rusty. A single in 4 trips. A windup by Stanley. The pitch to Staub. A strike called on Staub. Rusty popped out to third and hit into a double play. He singled and then hit a fly ball that resulted in a double play and some bad base running by the Tigers in the 7th inning. There's a foul up this way. Over our heads on the roof. Stanley is ahead of Staub with 2 quick strikes. Stanley has a couple of strikeouts. Entered the game with a man on, nobody out in the 9th inning. He swings. There's a long drive foul. Oh, he got out in front just a little too far. It had the distance down the right field line. You've got to hug the line to get one in the seats or else hit it a long, long way here at Fenway Park. 2 strikes on Staub. Stanley rocks back. Here's the pitch. A topper foul back up on the screen. He just reached out to protect the plate with a 2-strike count. Tigers with 12 hits. The Red Sox have 8. We're in the top of the 10th inning, 2 down. Nobody on for Detroit. Staub kicks away from an inside low pitch that got by everybody. It's been a tense one all the way. Never more than a run separating these 2 teams. And a tight series, for that matter. Here's the windup, the 2-strike pitch. Swung on, fly ball to right field. It's fairly deep. Evans going back, having trouble with the sun. He's backing up, makes the catch in front of the bullpen. Almost got out of here. About 380 feet away from the plate. But Evans got back, had the room, and made the catch. And that's all for the Tigers in the 10th inning. They go down 1, 2, 3. Here come the Red Sox to bat with a score. The Tigers 3, the Red Sox 3.
Well, I remember way back in '62 and those magic moments with Mary Lou, hanging out at the drive-in in my '57 Ford V8.
Hey, Rocky, I bet my Ford's better than your Ford. Oh, yeah? What do you got in that thing? Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion plugs. Oh, well. Hey, listen, man, I just remembered I got to get my ducktail trimmed, right? Hey.
Now times have changed, my priorities have been rearranged.
Hey, Rocky, I bet my Pinto gets better mileage than your Pinto. Oh, yeah? Tell me, what do you got in that thing? Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion plugs. Oh, wow. Hey, I got a split. I just remembered I got to get a hair transplant, right? Hey, times change.
Buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion #1 in the world. #1 in your car.
for Jim Rice, who will lead off Boston's 10th inning against John Hiller. Rice is hitless in this ball game in 2 official trips. Slide to left in the first, walked in the 4th, walked in the 6th, and bounced out to short in the 8th inning. Here's the windup by John Hiller. The pitch, a slow one, stays a little high. May hanging on to it. Hiller thought he had a strike. Disagreeing with plate umpire Don Denkinger. Hiller kicks and fires, fouled behind the plate. Rice hitting .344 at the moment. He has hit 2 home runs in this series, had 2 in Detroit last weekend. Strike, he caught the outside corner. The breaking ball. 1-2 count on Rice. The pitch to him. Fouled. He jammed him that time, and he just got a piece of it. Comes back on the screen. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Jim Rice. Jim Slayton set the pitch the second game for the Tigers. Here's the pitch. There's a long drive to left field. That could be. It is a home run. And the game is over. Jim Rice lifted one into the netting just atop the wall in left field. His 18th home run of the year. He trots around. All of the Red Sox come out to home plate to greet him, pat him on the helmet, the back, and they gather around him as Rice wraps it up for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 10th inning, leading off with a home run off John Hiller. It was a very tough loss for the Tigers, who had out-hit the Red Sox, made some mistakes on the base paths, and a mistake apparently in the 8th inning in being unable to get Fred Lynn, who was ruled safe at first on a hit that tied the ball game, and then Rice untied it in the bottom of the 10th inning with his 18th home run of the year. Listen to the crowd. At the behest of the crowd, made a second appearance, coming out for an encore and raised his arm in the air in a victory salute. The Red Sox win it 4-3 in 10 innings. Now we'll get the totals here. Game lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes. Far too short as far as the Tigers are concerned. The totals for Boston, 4 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. For Detroit, 3 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. The Red Sox left on a total of 8. And the Tigers left a total of 6. The Red Sox turning 4 double plays in the ball game. Tigers unable to take advantage of numerous scoring opportunities. They did get 2 home runs to get in 2 of their 3 runs. The homers by Ron LaFleur in the 5th inning and Jason Thompson in the 6th inning. But they could not hang on to the lead, and the Red Sox came up a winner. They win going to Bob Stanley, and that will be Stanley's 4th win of the year against 1 defeat. The loss tagged to John Hiller. John suffering his 2nd loss of the trip, and now he stands 4-3 on the year. Discouraging, frustrating, call it what you may. The Tigers have now dropped 5 in a row on this road trip and slipped further out of the race in the American League's Eastern Division. It is hoped, of course, that Jim Slayton can stop the Red Sox here in the nightcap, which will be coming up in a short while. A Tiger veteran right-hander will face a rookie right-hander, Jim Wright, who has won 1 and lost none. One of the best curveball pitchers in the American League. Recapping the scoring of the opening game, the Tigers scored first in the 3rd inning. Ron LaFleur led off with a single, moved to 3rd on a single by Lou Whitaker. But then Rusty Staub hit into a double play, and LaFleur scored. The Red Sox took a 2-1 lead in the 4th inning. Rick Burleson led off with a double, moved to second on a bounce out. Jim Rice walked. Carl Yastrzemski doubled off Corcoran's glove next to the bullpen in right field to score a run. And then Carlton Fisk's sacrifice fly to left brought in the second Boston run. The Tigers tied it when Ron LaFleur, with one out, hit his 5th home run of the year up in the netting in left field, making it 2-2. And then in the 6th inning, Jason Thompson led off, getting a home run into the bullpen in right center field, his 13th of the year, to make it 3-2 Tigers. But in the fateful 8th inning that turned the tide here at Fenway, with 2 out, Carl Yastrzemski single to right. Carlton Fisk then doubled off the wall and left, Yaz holding at third, and Fred Lynn hit a hard ground ball down the first base line, fielded outside the line by Jason Thompson, who seemed to hesitate. Hiller did not come over to cover, and then Thompson didn't really burst to the bag to try to cut down Lynn, because as the Tigers argued later, the first base umpire, Dave Phillips, had pointed to foul territory, indicating the ball was foul. Well, Lynn beat the play at the bag. The run scored. The argument came, and the Tigers, of course, did not win it. As a result, the Red Sox had tied the ball game, and then Jim Rice untied it in the bottom of the 10th inning with his drive that was not a towering fly ball, a very well-hit line drive type, and it was a question of how high up the wall it was going to hit, I thought. But then it caught just above the wall in the netting in home run territory here at Fenway Park. His 18th home run, his 50th RBI of the year, wins it for Boston. The amazing thing, I think Peter Gammons had checked back, that will be 11, his last 11 home runs have come when the score was tied. That is an incredible statistic for Jim Rice. At any rate, the Bostons win the opener of the doubleheader here on this sunny summer afternoon by a score of 4-3 in 10 innings. We're going to be back with the broadcast resuming for Game 2 of this doubleheader in approximately 15 minutes. So for Ernie Harwell, for now, from Fenway Park, this is Paul Carey saying so long. Once again, the final score of Game 1 in 10 innings. The Boston Red Sox 4, the Detroit Tigers 3.